Come here. Hi, it's Krista Shirley with Kingdom Whispers, and today we're going to be talking about spiritual inheritance. So I'm just going to tell you the story that I've told many people out there, and it's really blessed them, it's really helped them, and it's inspired them to go and get their spiritual inheritance. So here I go. About 5 years ago, I was in Idaho. We were living up on a mountain and in the middle of nowhere, and I was taking a daily walk with the Lord, and I was talking to Him. And at the time, I was listening to a sermon on my, you have your headphones and your music going while you're walking, and I was talking to the Lord, and I was listening to a sermon by Bill Johnson, out of all people. This was like 5 years ago, and I just happened to stumble across something he had said, and so the Lord began to teach me through these truths, teach me how I could receive my spiritual inheritance. Because I had felt before and thought, I've heard people talk about spiritual inheritance, but where's mine? I want to have my inheritance. And so my journey began seeking it out. So every day I would take a walk on this mountain. I'd walk up the mountain, walk down the mountain, and I would start to proclaim and decree and declare out loud that I have my spiritual inheritance. It's mine for the taking. I started to bind it to myself, loose it from heaven, bind it to myself, knowing that it was my inheritance and that nobody else could touch this. And I really literally expected this thing to manifest like that day. Well, a month went by, and then I think perhaps it was a little bit even longer than a month. It could have been 2 months. My memory on this part is a little foggy, but I do know that it was less than 2 months. And so at this point, one day I was standing in my kitchen. Remember, I had been talking to the Lord about this for almost 2 months, speaking out loud, declaring my inheritance, that it's mine, and claiming that spiritual inheritance as if it was a reality already. And I was standing in my kitchen and I was washing dishes, and all of a sudden I heard this little voice in my ear, and it was the Holy Spirit. He said to me, "It'll be in the mailbox at 4 o'clock today." And I thought, oh, okay. Like it wasn't like shocking to me, but it kind of did take me by surprise. And I thought, okay, 4 o'clock? So my son Justice, my amazing son Justice, I said to him, hey, it's going to be here at 4 o'clock in the mailbox. So I need you to go down to the mailbox and check it at 4 o'clock. And so lo and behold, that's what he did later on that day. He went down to the mailbox. He actually saw the mail lady. So that's proof right there that she delivered it right at 4 o'clock. And keep in mind, I had no idea what was in the mailbox. I really didn't know at this point. Justice opened the mailbox. He brought it back to me. It was a certified letter, and it was my very first inheritance check from my father, my earthly dad. And it said with a little tiny note, and all it said is, "This is the beginning of your inheritance. Here's the first check." And I think it was for like $7,500, and that was big at that time for us because we had nothing. We were just living in poverty at that time. And so we started to rejoice and jumping up and down. It was so exciting because we needed that money so bad. And I could not believe that the Holy Spirit came to me and said, hey, it's here. What you've been proclaiming, what you've been saying, it's here. And I felt like, wow, did I manifest that? Did I actually speak that out? And I found out later on that my father had been thinking about this, and it kind of came to him all of a sudden that maybe he should send out his inheritance checks before he passed away so that his children didn't have to pay taxes on the money and they could have more. And so the Holy Spirit literally moved my father to start sending out these checks before he died. And he did actually die about a year ago, but between 5 years ago and now, I received several checks in the mail. Never knew when I was going to get them, never knew the amounts it would be, but I just want to encourage all of you out there that you have an inheritance. Now, you may not have an earthly dad who's going to leave you something, but you still have inheritance. And there's all kinds of inheritances, not just money. There's all kinds of things that the Father would love to give His children. It's already stored up in storehouses, and you don't have to wait till you die to be able to get these things. You can get them now on the earth. Remember what Jesus said? He said you can have it now in this lifetime 100-fold. Think about that. That's massive. And so the problem is we're not believing it. We're not declaring it. We're not believing that this is already a reality for us, so that we can reach through that veil and we can grab on to that and bring it into our existence and say, wow, I can have this. So I just want to encourage you, seek the Father out. Ask Him, what what is I'm supposed to be saying, because there may be specific words he wants you to say out loud, but it's really important that you declare out loud and that you declare consistently, and do not give up. And I just want to encourage you, do not give up. So this is Krista Shirley with Kingdom Whispers, and I look forward to your comments below, and please like and subscribe. Thank you.